My name is Gerald Moore. I'm here with Brother Claude, and we're just chopping it up about art, life, what it all means. How you doing, brother?
Good.
Good. So I just wanted to get a little FaceTime with you because I was very impressed with your work when I saw it the other day. I had seen it like a couple years ago when you first started, but not within this context.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Okay. You want to talk about that real brief? I know this is, you're sort of like reiterating what you already said, but frame it for us.
I mean, if you're speaking on what you've seen before, my earlier work, I actually wasn't doing anything that I'm doing now as far as the whole blackface, like incorporation in my work. That is like, I mean, for the record, make it clear, that's not what the whole, like my whole art background is based on. Everything. It's just a piece. I just throw that in there, like with some pieces. Okay. But that's not what the whole thing is. Like it represents. But the reason why I throw that in there is because I came across an artist by the name of Michael Ray Charles, and the way he like displayed his work and kind of put that in the forefront, and his purpose behind that was a reappropriation thing. So I felt like it was really important. So it resonated with me, and then the way I found out about it was I did my homework on it when I found out what blackface was, because I had no idea what it was when he showed it. I was like, I've seen this before, but I don't quite understand where it came from or what it is, but I always knew it was like, something offensive, like in a way. Definitely with the background I have. So when I did my homework on it, I actually like dove into it all the way and just started incorporating myself in my own artwork, and more so giving the same message, but I've seen it a little bit more different because me having that, not having the knowledge and not knowing, there's also people around my age who didn't either, and my younger generation who aren't aware of these things. So I wanted to do that as like a raising awareness thing, starting that conversation and educating people on American history, Black American history that the younger generation. So I felt like it was very important. So I definitely took that upon myself to, push that.
Gotcha. Well, my comment to that is you took it and you're running with it, you're amplifying it, you're blowing it up.
Sure.
I have an interest in Black imagery of that type. I use it a lot in my work. I'm a sculptor primarily, but I do a lot of fun object stuff too. I use lynching images, menstrual images, blackface, all the stereotypical images.
Things that people are afraid to talk about.
They're afraid to talk, and that's exactly
run away from it. So
there you go.
That's the whole purpose about me doing it as well.
I got you. That's what I got that when I came in the other day and saw your work.
Not afraid of the conversation.
No. We got and it's a conversation that we need to have, right? I mean, not just Black folks. That we're having.
Yeah, okay. People in general, like you said, not necessarily people being, having an African American background. It's everybody. It's a universal thing.
Yes, it is.
I feel like it's very important to touch base on any of these things and educate people as a whole, and not see it as one way. So there's also a new perspective. It's from, me being young Black and putting this imagery up. It's like people are just mind blown by it because it's like something that was used to be against us and to degrade us is now being, done by, me, but not necessarily for negative reasons, but to educate people.
So our reclaiming of the power of those images, right? So that's the context that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get that. A lot of people don't get that. People that you and I know, we're just talking about it off to the side, right? And I understand it. That people are offended by the images. They can't get past that.
Right. I want to say, sorry to cut you off. Like the older generation.
Yeah.
Like I understand why, because it's like it's closer to their time too. Right. So There's also that. So I get why other people have that misunderstanding or they don't want to understand. There's that too. So
They don't want to understand.
Yeah, so I understand the misunderstanding.
I got you. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen the film Bamboozled?
No, I have not.
Have you heard about
I definitely heard of it.
Okay. So for our audience, Bamboozled is a film by Spike Lee that is rife with racial stereotypes and uses of the N-word.
Yeah, I think I came across. You know what? Now you're like kind of jogging my memory. I don't think I knew his name, but
it's a Spike Lee joint. Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
But some people won't. Black folks. I'm talking about a lot of black folks don't even want to watch it because every other word is the N-word, and almost every other image in the film includes Step and Fetch It and the whole lineage of black stereotypes. And I have to say, I have a perverse fascination with that film. Yeah. And even before I saw the film, I was using minstrel images and lynching images in my own work, right? But I understand why people call it offensive. But for me, that's not me being offended is not the end of the story. It's really only the beginning of another story.
Right.
Right?
It's a new conversation.
Right. It's a new conversation that we need to have, right? So that's what I'm bringing to my work. Right. But when I saw your work, I'm thinking like you took it, and I'm not just going smoking these girls. I'm saying like you're taking it to a whole nother level.
Oh yeah.
Not just because you're young, but I think you're young, and that's framing your perception of everything that came. I'm like 67, you know, so I was like, I'm old school. But even when I was young, I didn't think like my peers, right? Yeah. But when I look at your work, I'm seeing you take that conversation to a whole nother level. First of all, the craftsmanship of your work is like off the hook. But then the vision, to, combine the things we just talked about, right? The cartooning, the design, the creativity, and the history, and the culture. So all in one piece. Yeah. Any one of those pieces are all in that. I mean, the one that's right around the corner here, it's like all those things converge to amplify that conversation in a way and articulate it in a way that is necessary. Yeah, that's my opinion.
People learn, so that was like, the style of even doing it. It's always necessarily like I said, I did it in a different style, but relatively similar, so you can identify it. Yeah. But it's like inviting in a way. That's what a lot of people say to me. That could be argumentative.
Well, I don't know if it can be. Well, I guess it could be debated, but the evidence for what you just said is already in the work. I think to me the success of work of art is that it's there to be seen in a way that, even before words are said about it, somebody's feeling something, whether it's offense or admiration, whatever it is, they're feeling it, they see it, they feel it. Now, let's have a conversation about it, right? So again, when I saw your work, my wife Robin, she was telling me like, oh yeah, so there's no show, this art, new shows up at City Lights. There's this artist whose work you might have seen. I had no idea what I was about to see when I walked in there because I'm dropping her off, right? At the vintage shop, I come up, I see the work, and I'm saying like, yeah, I've seen this before. So when I saw your work, my impulse was like, wow, I got a piece I want to throw into the mix. I don't know if it's appropriate or not, which brings us to this. This is called Welcome to the Colored Section. And it's a piece utilizing found objects of all kinds, like an assemblage, a pop-up assemblage, but using the imagery of the black face. But I'm also, like we talked about before, my preoccupation with geometry and plexiglass and all that kind of stuff all converged to make this piece. So I was hoping that you would say, throw the piece in. So what do you think? Does it add to the conversation?
Yeah, it definitely does add to the conversation. And the minute I seen it, I told you, I was even thankful that you even brought it in to because it resonates with everything. So it's definitely part of the conversation. even with how you put everything together too, like it's a different form of art. Not like I don't even not necessarily do this kind of art, so it's definitely like something new to look at.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Yeah, like I said, I wanted to do it as a pop-up just because I thought it added something to the conversation, not to eclipse anything that you're doing at all.
Yeah.
But I thought it might add a little point of punctuation.
That at once.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate
Good work.
you.
Thank you very much.